Thank you everybody for coming out. My name is Desi, or Advent if you know me from any other social platforms. Today I'm going to go over some funded account stuff, and then I'm just going to be making my watch list. So if you guys do have any questions, just type them out and then I'll get to them when I can. Cool. So with all that being said, funded accounts, to keep it very, very simple, you pay a fee. They give you anywhere from, I think, like 10 to like 500K to trade with. And um, there's a challenge that comes with the amount that you're paying. So to give you two examples on two different websites that I've been given, there's one on Apex, I think like Apex Funding. Hold on, I'll show you right now. Apex Trader Funding. I don't have it here on the screen, but I'll post it in the I'll probably post the specific one in the description of the on the YouTube video when I finish this. And then there is the Elite Trader Funding. I already have this one pulled up, so I'll just start off with that. So essentially, and hopefully the chat is not in the way in the recording. So with this specific one, let me know if you guys can see it. Just type yes or no in the chat. You pay $50. They give you $100,000. And you need to hit $6,000 in profit within the first 14 days. Now, the way they work kind of differently depending which ones you do, but this specific one, so you pay $50, they give you 100K, and if you lose 3K, challenge is done. You lose your $50, and that's basically it. But once you hit the $6,000, I think that's when the first challenge is done, at least from my understanding of these things. Once you hit your first target of 6K, I think they have one more challenge, which might be like 3K or 4K, depending on which ones you do. So the minimum 5 days of trading, even if you hit your target the first day, you still need to trade at least 4 more days. Now, a way to not blow up the account is essentially you could take one trade a day for those 5 days to qualify to, like, I guess, complete the challenge. So they give you a minimum of 5 days to 14 days. The scaling rule, if I'm understanding that correctly for this specific challenge, is there isn't a trailing drawdown, which I'll explain in a bit. No resets allowed, which means like there are some challenges that you could pay $50, and if you lose, you pay like $80 or whatever it may be to restart that challenge. For this specific one, once you blow it up, you're done. You can't redo this specific challenge, but they have a bunch of other ones. Let me know if all that's making sense before I can move on. Cool. So the no scaling rule, if that's what I'm understanding correctly, compared to Apex's, is that there isn't a trailing drawdown. I'll share with you the Apex one, but for now, if it's a trailing drawdown, which is what they mean, that there isn't one on Apex's challenge, let's just say you have a $50,000 account. Your max drawdown is 47.5K before you blow up the account, or before you fail the challenge, I mean. Now, let's just say you get to, let's just say 55,000. The drawdown before you fail the challenge would increase to, let's just say 52.5K. Let me know if that makes sense. So for example, With the trading drawdown, that affects even if it's unrealized. So if you start at 50K and your current drawdown, your max drawdown limit is 47.5K, and let's say you go to 55K and you don't secure your profit, and then you go back under 52 or 51K, then the challenge fails. So the drawdown scales with as you grow the account. So with all that being said, this specific challenge, I do not think it has that with the scaling rule, if that's what I think it is. Now, with the Apex one, at least from what Crazy Cal, one of my students told me, was he's doing, I think, 4 of them at the same time. So I think the first target, or rather, the first challenge is to grow the account by 10% in the first month. And you need to trade for a minimum of 10 days. So after you make 10% in the first month, and you trade the minimum of 10 trading days, the second challenge for the second month, or I guess the second phase of the challenge, is you need to grow the account 5% more. And once you do that, then you get, I guess, like a live account where you basically start getting paid out. And I think for Apex, you can choose when you want to be paid out, in the beginning, middle, or the end of the month. And I think Apex has a 90-10 split. So, but the first 12.5K is all yours. You take the full $12,500 for yourself. But after that, whatever money you make, it's a 90% for you, 10% for them. So if you make 10,000 that month, you keep 9K, they keep 1. And yeah, is all that making sense for you guys so far? So assuming, just in case it doesn't show the question here on the recording, but King asked, are you limited to what you can trade? Yes, in the sense of it depends which platform you use. I think some of them allow futures trading, crypto trading. There might be even options trading. I'm not too sure. I didn't really dive too deep into that because I'm only interested in trading futures. I think there might be stock as well. But yeah, I think if when you go on the websites, which I'll post in the description of the YouTube replay, I'll put both websites, and then there should be a section that tells you what you can trade through them. Kaliko, I'll get to your question next. And King, before I move on, did that answer your question? Cool. Sweet. So Fabian asked, so if you know exactly what you're doing and don't have a well-funded account, you should do this, right? If you have proven that you're consistent and that you know what you're doing, you should absolutely try out a funded account. Now, one thing that I want to throw out there is this. Some people may think, oh, it's only $50 or it's only $100. There's a lot of rules when it comes to funded accounts. So let's say in the image right now, it has a max drawdown of 3K. There are some challenges that you can't lose more than, I think, 2 or 3% of the account in a single day. So if you do that, you're done. And also on top of this, and probably whatever other rules they may have. So a funded account, it would you have to follow very, very strict rules. So yeah, if you do know what you're doing and you have been consistent and you just want to trade with more money and you don't want to use your own, funded accounts are definitely a great way to make a lot more money if you don't have the initial capital. Let me know if that answers your question, Fabian, before I continue. All right, I'll move on. Kaliko asked, is this a good path for new traders? I would say absolutely not, because if you're unscheduled, unscheduled, what am I saying? If you're not used to how do you say this? If you're not used to trading, if you don't know how to trade, if you don't know how to read charts, if you're not consistent, then you have no shit. You shouldn't even be thinking about funded accounts. The what new traders should be focusing on is learning what they're even looking at, what they're even doing. You need to understand how stocks move, why stocks move. You need to understand candle structure, price action, how to even read candles, proper charting. There's quite a lot of things that you need to know as a new trader before you even consider a funded account. And personally, this is what I think. This is only my opinion. Everybody's welcome to theirs. But if you're a new trader, I do not think that you should be trading your first month or two. Arguably, maybe just the first month. You should be paper trading and you should be learning how this all works. And on top of that, you should be learning how your broker works. Because I've had new traders ask me, hey, I'm up, X amount of dollars. How do I get out of my position? And in my head, I'm like, if you don't even know how to get out of your position, why are you even trading with real money? So if you're a new trader, definitely fully know the ins and outs of whatever broker you're using. My second mentor told me that, and I've never forgotten that. Um, so yeah, moving on. Any other questions in terms of funded accounts? And you're more than welcome to come off voice. You don't have to add it on the chat. You should be able to freely unmute yourselves. All righty. So for the Apex one, well, I guess I already spoke about that. The Apex one is $35 and they give you 50K. And it's similar to what I mentioned earlier. You pay 35 bucks, they give you 50K. Your first challenge is to hit 10% within the first, I think the first 14 days, or the first 10 to 14 days, or the first month. And then the second phase is 5% gain. And then you can fully start getting paid out from whatever you're trading or however much you make. I think the Apex deal ends November 2nd, and the what is this? And the Elite Trader funding ends on the 1st, or actually no, it ends I think like at midnight on the 31st. So tomorrow midnight is the last day to get, I think like 50 bucks or like $100 to get a funded account. Cool. Yeah, any other questions before I move on? Let me know, because if not, I'm going to jump into the watch list building. And again, feel free to either just type it on the chat or you can unmute yourself. You should be able to unmute yourself and talk. All righty, I'm going to move on to the watch list. One last thing for whatever new traders may be listening to this or watching this. Webull lets you paper trade. Thinkorswim lets you paper trade. And for international traders, there's Interactive Brokers that lets you paper trade. And there might be some others that I can't think of at the moment, but those are the three that come to mind. All righty, so watch list building. So The way I do my watch list is pretty straightforward. Basically, look at the 4-hour chart and I just get the high and I get the low and I do calls above, specifically on the 4-hour chart with no extended data on. Remember, for those who know me, I trade the Strat, and with the Strat, extended data is not allowed when you're trading because it messes with the candles, with the candle flips, like the time flips, and it messes with the candle patterns. So let's say, for example, if this was a 112, this is without extended data on, but if this was with extended data, it might be like a 122 or like, I don't know, a 222. It messes with the candle pattern. So something to keep in mind of. Anywho, so when I'm making my watch list, super simple, 4-hour chart with no extended data on, take the high, calls above, the low, puts below. That's basically it. Cool. Now, what I usually do, so I always trade, I always create a watch list with ES, SPY, IWM, and QQQ. But if I'm looking for any other tickers, I go on Thinkorswim, for those of you that know, and I just run the Strat scanner. It finds specific candle patterns. And I made a video about this, I think last week, which I'll put in the description, or I'll do that fancy YouTube thing where it's like, oh, click here. Anyway, so this specific scan is for 3-1 candles on the 4-hour time frame. So coin, I'm definitely going to add to the watch list. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to add from this one. And then this is the daily one that I have. On the daily, oh, I guess I'll add AMD. I don't really trade any of these things. I kind of just look for names I'm familiar with. And with the TOS scanner that I mentioned in the other video, you can change the time frame that you want to find these candles on. So we got AMD coin. Actually, hold on. Let's go to, let's look for hammers on the 4-hour. I don't know what that stock is. It's for hammers on the daily time frame. I don't know what none of this is. And maybe SE, but I don't trade SE. Whoever does, there's a hammer on SE daily. Shooters, this is a shooter scanner for the daily. And for those who don't know what a shooter is, that's just a reverse hammer. And there's nothing there. We can check on the 4-hour. Extended data off, as always. Yeah, nothing there either. And then, oh, I think this is actually the correct one. All right, so I don't trade none of this. Or maybe this was the one that doesn't work. No, I don't trade none of that either. Let's see, inside bar. Sometimes I'll run the inside bar one. It might bring up the ones that came up on the 3-1 scan, but if there's a 2-1, it won't show me on the 3-1 scan. So American Airlines, whoever likes to trade that, Affirm. Let's see, Bed Bath Beyond for you meme traders. Let's see. Ford, if you guys like trading that. And for those that don't know, Ford is actually pretty cheap to trade options on. And the contracts move pretty decently. I haven't traded in a while, but you know, there you go. Intel has an inside bar. They had earnings and pumped up. Very nice. Meta. I don't trade Meta, but whoever trades Facebook or Meta, there you go. I don't like it because the contract spread is trash, at least for me. Oxy, definitely going to add that one to the list. Roblox, I don't trade that, but for whoever does, there you go. AT&T as well. I usually swing AT&T. I don't really day trade it. T-Mobile as well. I don't trade that, but somebody asked me the other day. UPST, it's there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let me just add this real quick. Just to make a note. So we had AMD, Coin, Oxy. Sorry, Brian. Are you asking for the scanner that I'm using right now, or the scan that I'm using right now? Yeah, so this one is the inside bar on the 4-hour chart. And then the next one I'm gonna run is gonna be the daily. Sorry, so on the daily AMD, I already have on the list. Let me see. So if you're in the Discord, well, I guess I'll just show it here on the video. If you're in the Discord, scroll to I think it's ebooks and scripts. So right here, the Strat Scanner's PDF. I guess I'll just show you guys since I'm here. I would have to open it. I guess that's fine. So it basically has all of this that you just insert into Thinkorswim. Double inside days. These are really good. The weekly scans, I haven't used them, but I'm probably gonna add them. Yeah, it has like the list, the way how to do it. Cool. You're very welcome. Also, something to note on if you see a double inside bar, like a 1-1, there is usually going to be a big move once it pierces a direction. Let's see what we got on the daily. Oh, so Meta has an inside bar on the 4-hour and the daily time frame, which is really good. But again, I don't trade Meta/Facebook because I do not like the spread on the contracts. Oh, and UPST has a insight on the daily too. Interesting. I haven't traded this in a long time. I only shorted it with equity. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's basically it. It's really nothing else that I scan for when I'm making the watch list. Lastly, for those who use TradingView, this is just my personal preference, but I have everything organized. It's just much easier to go through different sectors. You know, you have crypto stuff, everything there. It's just a lot more organized. And something to put out there that Brown Strat King taught me. Thank you, my good man, whenever you listen to this replay. When you're reading or when you're charting something, you want to see what what the sector is doing as well. So if I'm looking to go take a long trade on, let's say, I don't know, Coca-Cola, I'll look at XLP and see what's going on. Or I think XLV as well, XLY. Yeah, because remember, a lot of the trading done in the markets nowadays is based off of algorithms. And if an individual stock isn't really doing much, it's going to be the algos, from what I was told. I could be wrong. Take this with a grain of salt. Follow the sector if the individual stock isn't doing anything crazy. So if the sector's red, more than likely these are going to be red. Something to note. Cool. So that's pretty much it. I'm not going to hold you guys here for like the next 30 minutes as I make my watch list. You're more than welcome to stay. I'm just going to stop recording in the next like 5 minutes. But yeah, hopefully that answered all your, or some of your questions about funded accounts. I will have more information in the next week or two because I'm gonna begin mine Monday or Tuesday. I got to see exactly how it works. Like if they just give me the account immediately and I start right away. And also one thing to note is, let me move this 1 sec. All right, how do I move this thing out the way? Cool. So I already have TradeStation there actually. So with certain brokers, you can integrate it directly into TradingView, like TradeStation, Interactive Brokers, what else? Tradeovate, if that's even how you pronounce it. And then a bunch of other ones. Like I think Gemini, you can do that as well. Whoever trades crypto off Gemini. And let me see this order panel. Oh, well, I can't trade this there. But anyway, on the order panel, it'll say like, oh, how many lots or how many contracts do you want to buy? And it'll show directly on the chart if you want to buy or sell, and it'll show you your open position, how much you're down, how much you're up, your stop loss or take profits. It's really, really convenient. Say that again. Whoever's talking, you're lagging if you're asking a question. Type it out if you can. Alrighty, well, any other questions? I'll keep it open for the next 5-10 minutes. If not, I'm just gonna stop the recording and do my watch list. You're more than welcome to stay. Any questions, you're more than welcome to come off unmuted or come off mute and just speak, or just type the question in the chat.
Hey, Desi, is there a scanner for TradingView like TOS?
Say that again.
Is there a scanner for TradingView like there is for TOS?
As far as I know, somebody said there was, but not as clean as TradingView. I was looking at it earlier. Let me see. Like they said, like this thing, the Strat helper. I was trying to figure it out earlier, how to add it in to see this thing right here. But when I added it to my chart, it just kind of it didn't really do what it's supposed to do. But if I figure it out and it does work as well, I'll let you know and everybody else. If not, I guess I'm putting this out there on the live. If you know how to code and use Pine Editor, please let me know, because if I can figure out how to set this up on TradingView to search up on specific setups, that'll be extremely, extremely convenient, because for those of you who trade Forex, I'm not trying, like, yeah, me myself personally, because I usually swing Forex, I'm not trying to spend 50,000 hours looking through every single pair and looking on like 4 different time frames for setups when I could just boom, hit the scanner. Oh, uh, what is it? GBP, JPY. There's a 3-1 or 2-1 or whatever on this time frame, and just saves a lot of time, honestly. But yeah, if I do figure it out for TradingView, I would definitely let everybody know.
Appreciate it, man.
Of course. Any other questions from anybody? All righty. Thank you for everybody who came out to the live. This is going to be posted on YouTube. And if you don't have the YouTube channel, just search up Cerulean Mind Academy on YouTube and it'll be there. I'll probably put it out. It should probably be uploaded by 11 p.m. tonight. So keep an eye out around there. If not, you'll see it by the morning time. But yeah, thank you all for coming out. I truly appreciate it. I love doing this stuff, sharing this with you all. And I'm going to stop the recording now.